Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. It is October 16th, 2018, Tuesday. It's nice and chilly here in San Antonio. This cold front, we have a cold front going on for the next 10 days, apparently. As of right now, the temperature in the air is 52 degrees. Nice. Yesterday was a little bit colder than that. But it's nice. That means fall has already started here in San Antonio since September. It's already the middle of October. It's going to be Halloween in about 2 weeks. So I'm glad we have this cold front. I mean, I don't have a problem with warm weather, but I don't like that freaking boiling, we're in hell type of, hot. I especially don't like that freaking teeth-shattering, ball-breaking cold. I like it when it's nice and breezy. Kind of like this. So I prefer it that way. And also because, it sucks when your hoodies are just there until it gets cold. But whatever, I digress. How are you guys doing? I just finished watching SmackDown 1000. Well, like the ending of it. I don't have cable. I just have the internet. I just have all these internet apps and whatnot. And unfortunately, I was unable to catch SmackDown. I caught like the last bit of it. I watched a couple things on YouTube. I guess we can kind of dive into what happened tonight. Caught the Evolution reunion on SmackDown, even though they were all wrong. But, they wanted to set everything up, I guess. Batista came back. Batista looks better than he's ever been. Yeah, and tonight I think he probably cut the best promo he's ever cut. I mean, Batista, I was a fan of Batista back in the day. I thought he was pretty good in the ring. He could have a good match, but his talking ability was not that great. I think he even admits he doesn't like talking. He even said in the beginning of the promo, the last place I want to be is holding this microphone. That's why he's wearing sunglasses. So, yeah, tonight he cut a pretty good promo. He teased what looks to be, planting the seeds of a WrestleMania match against Triple H, which I'm not shocked. But the way it looks is that Batista will be back in Mania. He might even be back, before that. Or he might even just be back for good since, he's going to be out of work at Marvel. Or he might just be at WB with his good buddy James. Anyways, that's another story. Anyways, him and Triple H at Mania, which makes sense. You want to have a retirement match against, Triple H, and it's pretty obvious Triple H is going to win. Because the promo he cut was, he was going down the line for each Evolution member, and then he gets to Triple H saying Triple H has done everything except beat me. And there was this kind of intense stare-off between the two, and then Ric Flair had to get between them and kind of like ease the tension. And that kind of puts it in Triple H's mind, I gotta beat this guy. I can't let him retire knowing that he beat me. Oh my god, that Triple H impression it hurts my throat when I do it. I can't do it. That's probably why I have a sore throat. Anyways, so I was going to set that up. Triple H at this point is just only good for, bigger events. Not that he can't go. He can go. He can certainly go. It's just, he just looks weird now. Triple H has always had a big nose. We all know that. The inside joke between in the WWE locker room and the wrestling community is that Triple H has a big nose. His nose looks like it's gotten a lot bigger, to the point where it looks like he has a giant cock on his face. And he just looks like this really grizzled, just kind of paper bag facey looking caveman. with this weird beard. He just needs to get rid of the beard altogether. Not as bad as Shawn Michaels, but we're not going to talk about that. What else happened on SmackDown? I didn't, like I said, I didn't see most of it because I don't have cable. I was able to catch like the last half of it on Twitch. Somebody was nice enough to stream it. From what I heard earlier about the show, we have new tag champions. The Bar beat the Usos with help from the Big Show, who's now turned heel for the 20 billionth time. Why is Big Show a heel, and why is he even in this company still? I mean, keep him around, yes. Keep him around as more of a goodwill ambassador. You know what I mean? Like, keep him around as like someone you can send out to like a children's hospital or to like the bigger events that they do. Kind of like, their Crown Jewel event that supposedly might not happen. It'll happen. They might just move it to another area, but supposedly they're set on being in Saudi Arabia, which Undertaker mentioned Crown Jewel at the end, and the crowd did not respond well to it. Or they booed it. So yeah, anyways, Big Show came out, turned heel by chokeslamming Kofi Kingston through a table, and he's now aligned himself with the Bar, who are now three or four tag team champions. I mean, it's interesting that they're still together, because usually these like tag teams are just thrown together. They don't last that long, but they've been able to make it work for 2 years. I make them sound like a couple. They've been able to make it work through the good times and the bad times. Good for them, honey. I'm gonna edit that part out. And then of course you got the New Day, who've been together for 3 years, I believe. It's actually 3.5 years. It'll be 4 years in January. So good for them, and keeping Sheamus relevant. Sheamus is probably the best he's ever been since being with Cesaro. That's just my opinion. What else happened on SmackDown? The Usos faced Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan won. What happened to the Usos? Do you remember there was that stretch where they were actually cool? And they were like, without a doubt, the best tag team in the company. Might even be the best tag team, in the business. And then they just took a backseat. Like, not even a backseat. I think they're in the friggin' trunk. I mean, you look at Jimmy. Jimmy's with his wife, Naomi, on that mixed tag thing. So they're having fun, but, why not include the Usos in your tag team plans? If you're going to include New Day and everything, keep the Usos and everything. Usos are friggin' talented. They cut a good promo. They can go out there and have a 5-star match. So, if you're not going to do anything with them, send them to NXT, see what they can do down there. Matter of fact, there is about 75% of this roster, maybe 80% of this roster, that you should probably send down to NXT and see what you can do with them. I mean, that'd be a better idea. I mean, Luke Harper went down to NXT a couple months ago to wrestle, I forget his name, Ricochet. And, well, I mean, granted, his tag partner is out, but, I mean, send him down to development. Kind of like what you used to do back in the day. Because Big Show had said, whenever he came back from an injury, it was either that or because he had a bad attitude. He got sent down to OVW to work with the talent. Kane did the same thing with Batista. Undertaker did the same thing. I believe Benoit did the same thing a couple times, or Guerrero. So, I mean, do that. Send a lot of these veterans, send a lot of, the seasoned guys to go down there and work with the younger guys and see what you can do with them. I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, it really would. I mean, can you imagine the Usos down in NXT versus friggin' who are the fucking tag team champions now? The Undisputed Era? That'd be a fucking awesome match. Those two guys going out there and tearing it up, I would love to see that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would love to see that. What else happened on SmackDown? Edge came back. Who seems like he's growing out his hair. He kind of looks like his old self from 10 years ago. Well, close to it. He brought back the cutting edge to have Becky, I almost said Becky Bayless, Becky Lynch and Charlotte promote their last woman standing match at Evolution, which we'll get into what happened on Raw in a bit. And, just ended in a brawl, surprising. The talk going around is that Becky might be working hurt. Apparently she has a cracked jaw, I believe. And she's going to get evaluated. If it comes back as, anything other than good, she'll more than likely have to drop the title at Evolution, which sucks because Becky has worked so hard to get where she is. For a while, Becky was nothing. I mean, not to sound disrespectful, she wasn't really anything. And by anything, I mean, when I say she wasn't anything, I mean just like she wasn't really in a spot. She was just there. She was just floating around, which sucked because of all the women on the roster, Becky is probably the most talented. As a matter of fact, I would put her. I'm gonna make a bold statement. I would put her over Charlotte, and I love Charlotte. I love Bayley, but I think she's head and shoulders above them because she commands ring presence. She works her ass off. She gets a good reaction. Whether she was a face or a quote-unquote heel, you don't see me do them quotation marks on my fingers when I'm saying that. Which I just think it's laughable that they're still trying to push her as a heel. Like, just turn Charlotte into a heel. Turn Charlotte heel, make Becky the Stone Cold babyface. I just said that, and I'm pretty sure Kevin Castle's somewhere just going, ugh. I just had this awful feeling. I love Kev. So yeah, like WWE just needs to. They need to listen to their fans, quote unquote. I'm using quotation fingers if you can't already tell. They need to listen to their fans like they claim they do, and just fucking turn Becky into a face. Turn Becky into a face. Turn Charlotte heel. Charlotte is a natural born heel. She is Ric Flair's daughter. Ric Flair as a face was not good. I never liked Ric Flair as a face. He was always good as a heel. Charlotte needs to be a fucking heel. She can play the bitchy role like to a T. She's a sweetheart of a person in real life, but she plays a better heel on television. I don't like this Charlotte at all. Anyways, yeah, their match at Evolution, last woman standing. Hopefully Becky's injury is not as bad as it sounds. Hopefully she can work through it. Doesn't have to drop the title soon. Or, what they can do is like have her win and just, keep her on television, but just don't have her compete in any matches. Because I don't know what the diagnosis for a cracked jaw would be. Like how long you have to keep like an athlete of any kind off television. And I can't find my fucking phone to look that up. Ugh, come on, where the fuck's my phone? Fuck it. But yeah. So, yeah, what happened after that? Trying to think about what else happened. Well, what I saw was the Mysterio and Nakamura match. Mysterio, he looks like he hasn't lost a step. I mean, the worry going around was that he, it didn't look that great even before coming back, while working in the Indies, working in AAA. That was the talk that he didn't look that good, and I'm not questioning anyone who had that opinion or saw what they saw. Maybe at the time he was working hurt, but he looked like he was in good health to me when I saw him wrestle Nakamura tonight. The match was actually pretty short. Because I think by the time the match started, it was already 15 till. And they had to go out there and I think wrestle for about like maybe 10 minutes with Mysterio winning. And then there was just kind of like odd, pause and like stare off between him and Nakamura. And then that's when the lights go off and that's when Taker, who took about 3 or 4 minutes to get to the ring, and all he literally did was come out there, stand there for 30 seconds and said, at Crown Jewel, DX will rest, and peace. And then he goes back and he just leaves. I'm like, You couldn't have had him come out there earlier? Or you couldn't have him come out there for the evolution skit? Like, what the fuck? I mean, to me, that just sounds like the easiest. That has to be the easiest, like, 50 grand that the Undertaker's ever made. Just to go out there and take about 4 minutes to get to the ring and just stand there for 30 seconds and say rest in peace, and then walk back. I was actually expecting maybe somebody to come out like a Shawn Michaels and super kick him, but I guess they want to save him for Crown Jewel if that happens. I guess we can get into Crown Jewel. The controversy surrounding Crown Jewel is that the guy, the prince, if that I guess that's what he is, that's funding all this, that's paying WWE like a dick ton of money to, bring shows down here, twice or 3 times every year. He apparently has a controversy surrounding him. He apparently shot a journalist, or had a journalist executed. And that's kind of putting the event in like kind of purgatory at the moment, because the talk is that a lot of the talent, they're not feeling too comfortable having to go there. They don't want to go there, like, period. And WWE's pretty much just saying, well, too fucking bad, we're going. The belief going on with this is that it would literally take Donald Trump himself to tell Vince McMahon, don't go. But for whatever reason, they want to go. I don't know if it's because they're scared, because these aren't exactly guys that you just say no to. Because apparently a lot of other people are pulling out, from their, like, ventures or entertainment, whatever entertainment ventures that they have going on with Saudi Arabia. A lot of other people are pulling out. I'm forgetting what. But for whatever reason, WWE, I'm not sure if they're scared or if they're just, like, dead set on doing it. They really should just do the right thing and just, like, not go. Because, I mean, don't just cancel the event altogether. Because they've already gotten this far. They've invested a lot of time to make these matches happen. You might as well just, like, I guess choose another venue, if that makes sense or whatever. The talk is that they're looking at maybe the UK or, other places, or just maybe stick here. But I'm trying to pull up this clip that apparently JBL said that it's actually a better idea to go to Saudi Arabia. Let me pull it up real quick. Come on. Well, for whatever reason... Oh, here we go. Wait. What the hell? What the hell? Are you kidding me? The video is not coming up. Or the sound isn't coming up on my Spreaker Studio. Well, that stinks. Basically... Oh, fuck. Yeah, for whatever reason, YouTube would play it, but apparently YouTube's kind of being a bitch. So... I'm basically just going to read off what he said. My personal opinion is that they should go. I think the only way you promote change, look at what we did with Cuba. You isolate a country, all you do is impoverish a country. But yeah, he's basically all for WWE going, which doesn't surprise me since he's I mean, it doesn't surprise me because A, he's still linked with the company, even though he doesn't work for it. I think he's an ambassador. And also B, he's all about, rah rah, I'm an American, I like America, I do American things, I wave an American flag, I wear an American hat. So that doesn't surprise me. But whatever. I mean, all in all, it's a very sticky situation. I mean, personally, they really should just not go. They honestly should. They should just not cancel the event altogether, but just move it to another venue, maybe UK, or maybe go back to Australia for another show, or Canada. I don't know. Go somewhere. I mean, because you have that World Cup. It'd be weird to have an event with the World Cup in it when you're somewhere in America. So I don't know. Go to another European venue, but just I guess stay out of Saudi Arabia. But whatever. It's WWE. WWE is going to do what WWE wants to do. And we're all just going to have to pay our $9.99 to watch it. Oh well. Anywho. On more wrestling news, I actually saw this yesterday, and it just made me roll my eyes. Former WWE, slash ECW superstar Shelly Martinez. A lot of people remember. I believe it was Ariel from she was Ariel, and she was was it Kevin Fertig's valet or whatever you want to call her. She responded to a tweet Vince Russo tweeted in 2017 in which she claimed a female WWE talent told him she was raped. Martinez claims the late Umaga, who died about 9 years ago, tried to rape her while overseas on a WWE tour. She told the following to Women's Wrestling Weekly. I'm going to read this whole thing, and you guys just tell me what you think. I almost got raped when I was with WWE. We were overseas, and there was a guy that I was a guy. Okay, and he wasn't my boyfriend. But I'm the kind of person who, when I'm just dating somebody, I only date one person at a time to see if I like them or whatever. I'm like a stage 4 clinger. Liar. So what happened is that they separated us, and since I was in ECW, what would happen is half of us would go with Raw, and half of us would go with SmackDown. So when they separated us, there was a group of guys who said, our goal is to see who the first one to get you now that they separated you. Oh my god, this bitch. I was like, dude, it's not even going to happen. And he was like, he's not even your boyfriend, who cares? I was like, I don't care, I like him. So it became some sick game, and the next thing I know, it was after a show, and we were partying or whatever, and the only reason why I don't say the names right now, or haven't yet publicly, is because there's a lot that I don't remember, and I don't want to be saying stuff that I don't remember. Yeah, but you want to talk about a dead guy. But I will say this, I've never said this before, but there was a group of guys, and one of them was Umaga, and when they saw he was getting the most aggressive with me, they left and got on top of me, and I just prayed. They left and he got on top of me, I just prayed. One of my fears is being raped because when I was a little girl, I had some sexual abuse stuff, so it's just something that I feared. So I prayed because... Sorry. So I prayed because he's a big guy, and I'm like, please don't let this happen. Please don't let this happen. And it was one of those things where God gave me strength, and I pushed him off me, and he fell to the floor, and he got pissed and, left the room. The next thing I can remember is being at a show the next night and venting to my girlfriend Melina about it, not telling anyone else, and one of the guys yelled down, Hey Melina, did you smarten up yet? And I was like, smarten me up to what? To keep my mouth shut? So I went up to his face and I said, I didn't tell anyone except for her, and I can't remember anything else I said when I got in his face. A lot of this I don't remember until a couple years ago, and I was totally suppressing it. That's what she put. Okay. I put my thoughts on Twitter. I feel very strongly about the whole Me Too thing. I'm all for calling out people, putting people on blast, but at the same time, I'm not just going to believe somebody just because they say it. You know what I mean? Because I need actual proof. I'm a criminal justice major. I'm all about, proof. I'm all about evidence and what you can really prove. It's kind of like, in Training Day, what Denzel Washington says. It's not what you know. It's what you can prove. Do you have pictures? Do you have like DNA or whatever you want to call it? I just think this is in bad taste because the guy has been dead for 9 years, and you all of a sudden want to call him out. Like, what's that going to do? What's that going to really prove? I mean, yeah, talk about what happened, but the guy's been dead. So if he was alive, okay, but what are you really trying to do? Because you want to come out and say that I don't remember anyone else, that was there, but I just remember Umaga distinctively. To me, I just think that's in poor taste. I don't know if I'm not trying to say she's lying, I'm not trying to say she's lying. I'm definitely not, believing her, but she should have just gone a different route, because one of the, the holes that I find in her story is that, she says, I don't remember anyone else distinctively, but I remember Umaga. So I don't get what her game is. Shelly Martinez has been known to kind of tell these pie in the sky type of stories. She's not exactly someone that's very trustworthy with her words. And again, this whole Me Too thing, it's like, I'm gonna capitalize on it. I'm gonna take. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say this without sounding like I'm being insensitive to victims. I'm all for justice. I'm all for people finding justice. Kevin Spacey was a creep. Harvey Weinstein was a creep. He got found out real quick. And there's never been any stories about Umaga being a piece of shit. You hear people talk about Umaga and they'll say that he was a good dude. He was one of the nicest guys, in the business. And, how I'm just kind of worried how this is going to affect his family. Because they obviously can't do anything to him because he's dead. So what are they going to do? They're going to go after his family. They're going to go after the Usos. They're going to go after Rikishi. Even though they literally had nothing to do with it. But again, if you can't go after the guy who's dead, let's go after his family. Let's blame them for him. Blame them for what he supposedly did. I don't know if I've talked too much about the whole Me Too thing, but it's become damning. Because now it just seems like a witch hunt. It just seems more like, when stuff becomes a hashtag, that's when I start to find fault with it. Because now Me Too's now gone, and then it got replaced with, I think, Why I Didn't Report, which I think Why I Didn't Report It was more, I think it had more legitimacy than Me Too. Because, I don't know why I did. I just typed in, the hashtag on Twitter, and I just read all these stories, and they're just, it's terrible what happened to these women. And I'm not a woman. Then again, you don't have to be a woman to be assaulted. And, why people don't report, again, it's not easy. Because you can be put into a situation where you feel that if you do something, it'll damage you. It'll damage the people around you. So I never discredit anyone for not reporting. I've had friends that have gone through what a lot of these people have gone through, that they were assaulted and they felt that they couldn't do it, and when they did do it, they just got shut down immediately. And to me, that's just fucking sick and gross. That, there's stories about, women and men reporting these crimes, and they just get shut down because they're either too young to remember it, or they'll twist the story around, or they were dressed a certain way, which to me, that's fucking gross. To me, that should never be an excuse to assault a woman, to sexually assault a woman, is because she's dressed a certain way. Wearing a short skirt does not give you the green light to go up to her and grab her ass. Do not fucking do that, guys. No means no. I'm not trying to make this a PSA, fucking segment. It's just, the whole Shelly Martinez story just kind of led on to that. And I'm sorry for starting the show so dark. I promise you it'll get lighter in a bit. I just kind of want to get that off my chest because I'm all about entertainment. I'm all about, lightening up the mood. I just thought I'd get a little serious here for a second and just kind of, bare my soul to you guys. Just tell you guys what I really think about certain things. Just show you guys I'm a human, and I don't just care about fictional guys in leather spandex and capes. I actually do care about real life topics, and I feel a certain way about them. Feel very strongly about it. So I'm just getting that out of the way. So, anywho, again, sorry for starting off so dark. But anyway, let's move on to a more lighter topic, or depending on how you look at it. Last week, Iron Fist is no more. No more Iron Fist. Iron Fist was canceled officially. Therefore, there will not be a season 3. After truly, I'm reading off of Forbes magazine, or Forbes.com. After a truly disastrous first season, Iron Fist came back in season 2, attempting to put the past behind it, and with a new showrunner producing an offering that easily bested the first, it felt like it had earned its place in Netflix Marvel Universe. Yet, given how bad season 1 was, it appears that was not enough. That not enough people tuned in to the redemptive season 2, and therefore Iron Fist is canceled. Marvel told Deadline Marvel's Iron Fist will not return for a 3rd season on Netflix. Everyone at Marvel Television Netflix is proud of the series and grateful for all the hard work from our incredible cast, crew, and showrunners. We're thankful to the fans who watched these 2 series and for the partnership we share in the series and blah blah blah. I'm reading what this person wrote. This strikes me as weird for a few reasons. It's pretty rare for Netflix to cancel a series, especially when attached to high-profile IPs. I felt like Iron Fist was a package deal with Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and Luke Cage, but apparently not. Season 2 ended on such a clear cliffhanger, with spoilers calling becoming the new Iron Fist, and Danny upgrading his powers to shoot Iron Fist's golden guns, that it seems like the writers were assuming the Season 3 was an inevitability. Yeah, that's one thing that I thought was kind of odd, was that I don't know if they knew this season, I don't know if they knew this series was going to get canceled, or I don't know, but it's just like, how do you cancel a series that, the second season ended up being like 10 times better than the first? Like, it had a resurgence. Like, you rarely hear about, it's rare when a second season is better than the first season for any TV show. Like, that hardly ever happens. It doesn't ever happen for too many series. Like, I'm trying to think of a couple. Parks and Recreation. The first season was not good at all. It wasn't that good. Like, whenever I binge watch, the whole series from time to time, I tend to kind of skip the first season because it's basically just an introduction. When you look at it, the first season of anything is always just an introduction. And then after that, depending on this series and the writers and the actors, it gets better. After that, that's when the show got better. That's when Chris Pratt's character is a lot more interesting. That's when Aubrey Plaza's character got more interesting. That's when they brought in, I believe that's when Adam Scott came in. Adam Scott and Rob Lowe. So yeah, that's when this show got more interesting, and the fucking screen froze. But yeah. We're at a point here. But yeah, this show, again, second season was good. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. It was a lot better than the first. It left cliffhangers. I reviewed it, not too long ago. Colleen, who I love her in anything, she became the new Iron Fist, or she became a Iron Fist, which the end of the season she's holding her sword and it lights up, which I thought was fucking dope. Danny can hold guns and shoot bullets that turn into golden iron fist thingies or whatever you want to call them. And I guess this is almost like a blessing in disguise, the way you look at it, because that gives Marvel the opportunity to, I guess, do the whole Daughters of the Dragon, which I'm actually looking forward to. The first time I heard about it, I was like, I don't know what any of that means, but okay. Now after seeing like teases of her and Misty Knight, which I'm starting to have a thing for Misty Knight now, I'm very interested in that. That's something I want to see. Because the girl who plays Misty Knight, she's charismatic as fuck. I love her. Of course, I love me some Colleen Wing. Looking back on the show, it has the same problem that Black Panther had, and here's what I'm saying. I'm not, and again, I'm not comparing Iron Fist to Black Panther. I'm saying it had the same problem. Black Panther had a T'Challa problem, where when you look at the movie, anytime T'Challa was in a scene with somebody, whether it be his sister, Michonne, I don't even know the character's name, I just call her Michonne, especially a Killmonger, or even fucking Claw or Ross, that character always seemed like they were more interesting than him. Not to say Black Panther sucks, but it's just I guess I'm kind of stealing from Mark Bernardin, Fat Man Beyond. He pointed out something that I saw, which was you look at Black Panther. He was just very perfect. He didn't want anything. For a hero to be interesting, they have to want something, and he didn't really want anything. Thus, it just kind of made him not boring, but just he's all right. With Iron Fist, the actor Finn Jones, he did a better job this season. He seemed a lot more relaxed and laid back and fun. But again, he was suffering from the Black Panther problem, which was everybody else was more interesting than him. Colleen was more interesting, which again, I'm going to say for the 8 millionth time, I love Colleen Wing. I love her in anything that she does. She was apparently on King of Queens, Game of Thrones, which I need to watch that. Misty fucking outshone. I think she was probably the most interesting character in the whole show. Maybe more interesting than Colin. I forget his fucking name. Burt Ward? Not Burt Ward, that's the actor. The son. Something Ward. Whatever his name is, Ward. His story was a lot more interesting than, Danny. Fucking Davos was a hell of a lot more interesting than Danny. Shit. I mean, I don't think it's Finn's fault. It's just, again, he didn't really want anything. Like, Iron Fist, did not want anything. The way they portrayed him was that it didn't seem like he wanted anything. And that's what makes a hero interesting, is that when they want something and when they go after it. But Iron Fist had everything he wanted. He had the Iron Fist. He had his company back. He was banging Colleen Wing on the low. And he's best friends with Luke Cage. So what else could he want? So, I don't know. Where does the character go from here? The obvious choice is that he's going to be on other shows. This pretty much calls for a Heroes for Hire show, or a Heroes for Hire arc on maybe Luke Cage with Luke Cage. That kind of seems like the way to go. You guys remember Iron Fist showed up on an episode of Luke Cage last season or this past season, and in one episode they fixed him. They made him more relaxed. They made him more chill and funny. There was that one fucking move, and I don't know what the fuck it's called. Luke Cage kind of holds out his hands it's almost like they're playing patty cake, but with an iron fist, and it just fucking blows everybody away that's surrounding him. So yeah, for the next season of Luke Cage, I guess you can do a small arc for Heroes for Hire, but from how Luke Cage ended this past season, I doubt. I don't know how they'll do that, or just make an entirely new series. And they're obviously gonna do Daughters of the Dragon, which again seems like the way to go. As far as like putting him in movies, that'd be interesting, but Netflix and Marvel don't like each other, even though they work for the same fucking company. But I digress. What else is going on Netflix? Daredevil Season 3 comes out this Friday, which I'm fucking stoked for. The talk is that this season is actually on par with the first season. The second season was not great. The only saving grace about it was Punisher was in it. They brought in Elektra, which she was not that good. She kind of redeemed herself in Defenders because they made her more of a badass than how she was portrayed in season 2. Because in season 2 she was portrayed as more of kind of like a spoiled brat almost, and she just like I don't know. I didn't like her in season 2, and then they brought her back in Defenders. They made her more of a badass. They made her the fucking bloodthirsty badass she should have been. Will they make a show about her? More than likely. I mean, because a lot of these shows kind of have a short shelf life, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you can do with a lot of these shows. How much more content you can put out. But then again, I'm not a writer. I'm not a producer, so. I mean, because Marvel has like a buttload of characters that they can put out. The talk around the campfire is that they want to do a Moon Knight series so fucking bad. I want that to fucking happen. I mean, make it into a movie, that'd be awesome. But I think that character is better suited for a TV show. And keep him the fuck away from Daredevil. Keep him the fuck away from Punisher. Let him be his own guy. I mean, make mention of him, but just let him be his own guy. Because Moon Knight is a fucking nut job. I don't know if anyone knows that. The guy's fucking crazy. He's the way to describe him, he's Batman with issues. With more issues. That's the only way you gotta describe him. The talk is that they want to do, I heard a Ghost Rider series with the actual Johnny Blaze, not this fucking Ricky Reyes guy. I just don't like. It's not that I don't like Ricky Reyes the character. I just don't like the actor that plays him. The actor is just. It's kind of like Finn Jones as Iron Fist, which I'm not trying to be a hypocrite and like change my word, but it's just like the first time I saw Iron Fist, because Iron Fist is supposed to be a cool character. I look at Finn Jones, and I'm just like, he doesn't look like Iron Fist. He just looks like a guy. He looks like a dude. I mean, granted, I said he did a better job in season 2, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't change my opinion that I don't think he should be Iron Fist. This guy played Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which that show should have been like dead like ages ago. He doesn't. When I see him, I don't feel Ghost Rider. I just don't like, because I read the comics. I just recently read like Avengers, where Ghost Rider shows up, where it's the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. His Ghost Rider comes off as more charismatic, kind of cocky, one-liners and whatnot. The actor that I see on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is just kind of bland. He's way too serious. He's way too. I mean, granted, the character went through some shit. He was in a car accident with his brother. His brother almost died, and then he ended up getting the power of the Ghost Rider, and his brother was alive, but now he's in a wheelchair. So I prefer my Ghost Rider the way it should be, white. I'm playing, but I just prefer the old school Ghost Rider. That's just my opinion. Fucking Daryl from Walking Dead has been campaigning for that role. That'd be like picture perfect casting. He can pull off Johnny Blaze. That just bring in the rest of the Walking Dead into Marvel. Breathe new life in them, because that show is dead. Am I right? The show's barely on life support, and someone needs to pull the plug already. I don't care about that show anymore. I don't think anyone's cared about that show in a long time. It's It's starting to have WWE syndrome where it's like, we have low ratings, yes, but we don't care. We're going to put up more content because people will still buy our shit and come to the fucking conventions and fucking cosplay as us. Ugh. What the fuck was I saying? I just went on this huge rant about... I just started talking about Iron Fist and I go on this huge rant. What other shows can Marvel put out? Yeah, no fucking know. That's pretty much it. Switching gears now from Marvel to DC, unfortunately. Then this has been going on for a while, and this was kind of just announced today. Well, not today, yesterday. Warner Brothers still has no plans for Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman. I'm reading on Screen Rant. It looks like Warner Brothers still has no plans regarding future movies with Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill. Following the release of Justice League last year, the future of the DC movie universe for Batman and Superman appear to be in doubt. In an article regarding the Flash's movie production delay, Variety reaffirmed previous reports indicating that Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill are on their way out of the door as Batman and Superman, respectively, while WB hasn't officially confirmed or denied either actor leaving the role. They did recently say that no decisions have been made regarding Cavill's future as Superman, and it appears that's still the case for Cavill as well as Affleck. I'm just kind of skimming through this. At the time, it was believed that he'd be doing that by starring in DC's Flashpoint movie. We're talking about Affleck. He had been thinking about leaving the role as Batman for quite some time. He wanted a cool way to leave. And now Flashpoint. It was going to be Flashpoint, and then they just changed it to a regular Flash movie, and that movie got pushed back because Ezra Miller, I guess, is filming the third Harry Potter movie, whatever the fuck it's called. Ezra Cavill, he's always been adamant about being in the role for the long haul, but WB wanted to focus on other characters in the meantime, such as Supergirl, which I don't know why they want to do. Focus on... I'll get into that in a bit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Ben Affleck leaving, I think I believe that more because A, he's a little too old for the role, and I know people are going to tell me, because Downey's 50 and he's about to be done with Iron Man, supposedly. And they got Mark Ruffalo, who looks like he's going to play the Hulk for a couple more years. Ben Affleck, look at his personal life. He just came out of rehab, so I don't see him playing Batman for that long because I think playing Batman is a lot more physically exhausting than playing Iron Man because with Robert Downey Jr., he's not literally Iron Man. He's not wearing an iron suit. He'll show up and he'll wear like the CGI armor, and as soon as in his words, as soon as they close that helmet, he's a ghost. He's gone, and he's just watching people do the CGI or whatever. As Batman, you have to be in tip-top shape. You have to be fucking built like a rock or the Rock, and you gotta do a lot of crazy shit. For Ben Affleck, he's mid-40s. He's in very good shape, but that's a role that you have to be in shape. You have to really kill your body to get in shape for. And again, you look at his personal life. It's really taking a toll on a lot of shit. So him, I believe more. Being out the door pretty soon. Henry Cavill, I don't know why they're stalling on making a Superman movie because, granted, the first, Man of Steel was not that great. It wasn't. It was kind of dull. It was very long. He didn't do a very good job in it. All his roles as Superman, I don't blame him. I just blame, the writing for how they portrayed him. because again, in Man of Steel, he was just very he was just very depressed and just sad about everything. And Dawn of Justice, again, same thing, depressed and sad about everything. He wasn't the Superman that we know. Granted, I'm not a Superman fan. I never had been. I always thought Superman was very corny. But I know what Superman should be. When he came back in Justice League for about like 15 minutes, I think that was probably the best Superman rendition that he's done. Because he was almost, I do say almost, on par with Christopher Reeve as Superman. Because he had the Superman voice down, the look, the personality. And I was like, okay, we finally got Superman back. And there's no movie. Supposedly Henry Cavill said that they had a script and they were going to get a director and that they were going to do a Man of Steel sequel, and that's supposedly not happening. And all the while, Henry Cavill's his career's taken off. He was in Mission Impossible, which I've yet to see. He did a pretty good job in that, apparently. He's going to be in a Netflix show which is based off of the video game The Witcher. So him leaving, it's just weird because I did that show a while back where I talked about him leaving. He made that video that was just kind of weird where he's just sitting facing the camera. He's wearing a Krypton shirt and he's slowly lifting up a Superman action figure that's actually him from the movies. So I'm not sure if that was his kind of weird way of saying, hey, I'm leaving, or if at the time that's just how he felt, or if his agent just said, hey, kind of ease the tension, don't let anyone know you're leaving. That's just weird. Superman and Batman they're very iconic characters. They've stood the test of time. I've never seen two actors leave iconic roles at the same time in the same universe, quote unquote, that they're trying to portray. So they leave. They leave. What do? Obviously, you recast. Some paper. What exactly do you do? Kevin Smith kind of made the comment that John Hamm would be the perfect Batman. Again, granted he's old. He's in his mid-40s. Look wise, he would play the perfect Batman. Hands down. Ben Affleck. I think I was the only Ben Affleck supporter or the BATFLECK supporter. He had a good look. He had the good size. He had the size to play Batman, but I don't know. He couldn't knock it out of the park. Henry Cavill was just he wasn't good Superman due to constraints, due to just the studio, the writers, the director, the producer, whatever you have it, just not giving him good shit to play Superman. So who do you recast as Superman? John Hamm would be a good choice. If you're looking for someone long term, I would say cast someone younger. The Flashpoint might have had a chance to do something, but this Batman movie that's coming out in 2020, they already have a script. They supposedly have villains in it. Who would you recast as a younger Batman? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's out there. Because they might just go after a younger, unknown name, which makes sense. Personally, I've always been under the belief that they should have just kept Christian Bale as Batman. They should have just kept him in with this universe that they're starting, but obviously Christopher Nolan didn't want to do that. Bale didn't want to do it, even though he was jealous, supposedly. So who would play a good Batman, a good younger Batman? Okay, Batman fan cast. Okay. A lot of older actors. Yeah, come on. Michael Fassbender? No. Well, he's a little seasoned. Dylan McDermott? No. Idris Elba would be a good choice, but again, he's a little too old for the role. Jensen Ackles, I think, desperately wants to play Batman. I think if somebody just said, "Hey," it wouldn't shock me if, like, you heard the story that, somebody offered him, the role to play Batman. All you gotta do is quit Supernatural. I think he would quit Supernatural. At this point, I think he would have to, because as much as I love Supernatural, the show's run its course. But that's another story for another time. Not too many young choices. Again, because there's a lot of young actors out there, and I don't know anyone's name. I haven't really taken the time to know anyone's name. Yeah, I mean John Hamm again. I think he's a fan cast role. I don't know. I don't know who else could really play him. Besides John Hamm, look wise, he can play the role. As far as Superman goes, yeah, I have some people in mind. John Krasinski, I think, has the look. He kind of has that all-American, boy, charming look to him. This might ruffle a couple of feathers. Chris Evans. I mean, Chris Evans is now supposedly done as Captain America. The fuck was that? I just heard some weird noise. I think it was the TV. Chris Evans, he's done with Marvel. He's done playing Captain America. Now you bring in, his polar opposite, which is Superman, who is, pretty much the face of DC's America. I guess you can get lazy and cast The Rock. I'm playing. Again, I mean, we're saying all these these big names, but at the end of the day, I think they'll just choose who's ever quote unquote right for the role, and maybe it might be someone. It's more than likely it'll be someone who's an unknown. Maybe not a complete unknown. Maybe just someone that we hadn't thought of, and someone who's just they're known. It's going to be someone who's more of a character actor. Like we've seen it before. They're not publicly known to the American audience because not a lot of people knew who Christian Bale was. I sure as shit did not know who Christian Bale was. He's more of a guy that I may have seen him before. I just don't remember him by name. He was in American Psycho before. He was in Little Women, which that's a movie my mom loves. I liked it too. It was alright. And then he played Batman. So nobody knew who he was. Michael Keaton, was known more for comedy. He got trashed for getting cast in that role, and then he knocks it out of the fucking park. Henry Cavill, nobody knew who the fuck he was. Nobody. Not one soul knew who he was. I looked up on his IMDb when he got cast to see, okay, what Superman are we dealing with? His claim to fame was being in Hellraiser. One of the Hellraiser movies. I think Hellraiser 6. And I watched that piece of shit movie. Don't ask me why. I just watched it. And he was terrible in it. So, again, I get it. DC and Marvel do things very differently. With Marvel, they'll take actors that have been around for a while, and they'll make them more household names. They did it with Downey. They did it with Chris Evans, Scarlett. Pretty much everybody in Marvel. The actors. They're all very well known actors, but after being in a Marvel movie, they became more household names. Now when you see Downey walk on the street, there's going to be kids saying, "Hey, it's Iron Man." And even after Chris Evans is long gone from Captain America, now that he's in Broadway, I'm certain there's going to be kids showing up at his show just because they know he's Captain America. With DC will take lesser known actors, like for example Henry Cavill, and make them household names. Because even after Henry Cavill leaves, he's still going to have people saying, "Hey, it's Superman." Or Gal Gadot, who hit it big with Wonder Woman. She obviously loves playing the fucking role of Wonder Woman. She has little girls that are going to see her and go, "I want to be like her. I want to be Wonder Woman. Ezra Miller, whenever this Flash movie does come out, he's going to be a household name. He's going to be the Flash. Jason Momoa, if Aquaman does well, which it looks like it should, he's going to be forever known as Aquaman. And, besides, Game of Thrones, Jason Momoa wasn't really in a lot of, big, high-profile movies. I mean, he was in Baywatch when he was a kid, but that's about it. He didn't really do much. Gal Gadot did a lot of the Fast and Furious movies before she hit it big with Wonder Woman. Ezra Miller is known for more as just being like a, I guess, in a lot of indie films, if you want to put it that way. I mean, he was in the Harry Potter Fantastic Beasts films. I guess those are big. People like that. I hate Harry Potter. Ugh, I hate it. I hate Harry Potter so much. It sucks. And not because I look like Harry Potter, supposedly. But, yeah. He was in those. Ben Affleck. Everyone knows who Ben Affleck is, but that's a controversial choice because he's a very good actor. He just did a lot of shit films, and he recently had a resurgence where he became one of the most respected, filmmakers in Hollywood with Argo, but people, for whatever reason, just can't let go of Daredevil. They just can't let go of Daredevil. I, for one, I'm a comic book apologist. Even to bad movies, except Fantastic Four. Even to bad movies, I will give them credit where credit is due. The Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck was not that bad. Come on. I mean, let's just be real. It was not that bad. Was it perfect? No. Was it good? No. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's something that if it was on TV right now, I would watch it. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, but I would watch it. So, and yeah, just for whatever reason, people just can't seem to let that go. Yeah, it's about an hour. I'm over an hour. I think that's pretty much everything. What else? What else I forgot? Fucking words today. What else I forgot? The Halloween movie comes out this Friday. Supposedly it got good reviews. It's on par with the original. I might just go see it. I don't know. I'll more than likely go see it. Comic-Con is next Friday, it's next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm hoping to go. My friend Jess, she's gonna hook us up with tickets. See how that works out. I don't doubt her because she's already bought us tickets twice. So, yeah, the lineup there. The thing about Comic-Con is I go there and I enjoy it. I don't care about the guests, to be honest, because it's like, you have celebrities that will charge a fucking arm and a leg for a picture and an autograph. It's not like, hey, here's $60 so I can talk to you and just take a picture with you, and that's about it. It's like, I'd rather just go there and just buy some shit, like some comics or maybe some figurines or some memorabilia, and that's about it. It'd be cool to see people and get to talk to them. Last year I got to talk to Rey Mysterio and took a picture of them. That was pretty cool. The whole thing about celebrities, it kind of rubs me the wrong way when they charge that much money just for an autograph and for a picture. Because, I'm going to act like the simple, simple guy from town, which is just like, you already make a shit ton of money. Why do you need more money just to take a picture? As far as I'm concerned, you should just make it free to take a picture with you, or at least charge it for a more reasonable price. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger is charging a dick ton of money. I think he's charging like 200 something. I think Rick Moranis is charging the same, which is just like, okay, Rick Moranis, I like you. I like the movie Bully, which doesn't get a lot of praise. I wasn't too big of a fan of Spaceballs, but are you really worth that much money? Come on, let's just be real. Well, that's something else I can get into. I'll definitely do a show talking about my experience at Comic-Con. So yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for tonight. You guys already know the drill. I will edit this show and upload it around like maybe say midnight-ish. New shows every Wednesday. Additional shows during the week, depending on what's going on during the day. If I end up seeing Halloween this Friday, I might even just do a review with Devin. This Thursday, I'll be recording with Devin on the Ice Podcast for my binge watching podcast I do with him. We'll be talking about the Purge, which I'm very behind on that. So I gotta catch up. I should do fun. I was able to watch the first 3 episodes in one night. So definitely look out for that, and for whenever my Castle Rock episode comes out. I don't know when the fuck that's gonna come out. Spreaker, that's our home base. You already know about that. So episodes automatically get uploaded to Spreaker, and you can listen to that once I upload this. Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, CastBox. These also come out on YouTube. And also go out of your way. And these guys do not need me to blow them or or talk about how awesome their shit is. Wrestling Soup. They did an episode on Thursday or last Thursday. Possibly one of the best episodes I've done. I'll be real brief about it. They talked about Ryan Satin, who's this fucking SJW fucking pussy, who I don't know, he works or worked for TMZ. Now he's a wrestling writer. He's basically, one of those hey guys, don't disrespect the ladies and respect the ladies. Don't ever say mean things about ladies because that makes you a sexist or whatever. He's a fucking idiot. I got blocked by him because I basically just said, I hope somebody punches you in the face. I hope John Draper, somebody punches you in the face. I got blocked. So, anyways, I did an episode where they were basically covering the whole Ryan Satin situation. And all I gotta say is, it was the birth of Soupbot, which is probably one of the... It's a wondrous creation. And I've already listened to the episode 3 times. It's that good. Go listen to it if you haven't listened to it already. But yeah, as far as me goes, gave you those links. I will post the links like I always do in the description box. And I will see you later.